have been raised about the effectiveness of sex education campaigns. This comes after the alarming revelation that over 23,000 teenage pregnancies were recorded from April 2020 to March 2021 in Gauteng alone, among them 2,976 girls between the ages of 10 and 19 chose to terminate their pregnancy. To talk more on this, we're joined by Tsolofelo Maluleka and Brittany Mannequin from the hashtag #WeToo Women Lawyers Against Abuse. Good evening to you both, and thank you so much for your time this evening. I'll begin with you, Brittany. When you read some of the reaction to the news that there is this alarming number of girls who are pregnant and others have chosen to terminate, and this is between this period from April 2020 to March 2021. Others are saying that they don't react with shock. What was your reaction when you saw this report?
I was appalled by the statistics. Being a young girl myself, just merely finishing high school 4 years ago, I was completely taken aback when I seen these statistics and saddened by them, because I know that these statistics skyrocketed during the lockdown period that we had to go through, and it directly correlates to the numbers of sexual abuse, domestic violence, and that's one thing that is not okay. With me being a young...
All right, well, we try then to get Brittany's picture back up. Let's go to you, Tsolofelo Maluleka. Some have said that we need to stop calling it teenage pregnancies and call it statutory rape, especially when you look at the fact that some of these girls are as young as 10.
I know it is absolutely shocking. These girls supposed to be having a childhood, but their innocence is being ripped away from them, and they're supposed to be happy-go-lucky and free, yet they have to live in fear, they have to live in shame, and it is not okay. And we need to do something about these stats, and we need to make sure that these things do not keep on happening.
Tsolofelo, do you agree that we need to stop calling it teenage pregnancies and actually call it statutory rape, especially when it comes to those who are between the ages of 10 and 15, who are not at the age of consenting?
Thank you very much. Thank you for the opportunity, and thank you to the viewers for watching. I think we need to acknowledge that this problem is not new, first of all, and we as two women lawyers, we think that instead of worrying about what it is or what it's not, we may need to try and implement our legislation, because we have great legislation that actually deals with these problems. However, we are of the view that the officials that need to actually implement it don't have enough support, which is why we are coming forward and we're saying, look, whether it's statutory rape, whether it's children experimenting, let us extend help. Let us extend a helping hand between the public and private, by public and private partnerships. We are saying, let's all join hands. Let's all try and find a solution to this. Let us involve civil societies. Let us involve the society as a whole to be able to help this problem that is growing by the numbers every single month, every single day. And as a mother, you get worried every day that, is this going to happen to my child? You don't know why it's happening. You don't understand why it's happening. And like Brittany said, it just came out more now during COVID times because of well, I guess it unearthed it. It actually brought it more to light, so that we need to take action. And instead of talking about it, let's all come together and extend a helping hand. We need to be able to have a criminal justice that is also gender responsive. If we can have a children's court that specializes in that, it means we take children seriously, then I think we should be able to have specialized courts that are dealing with these problems: gender-based violence, statutory rapes, child pregnancies. It cannot be acceptable. Now, we can't say it's not acceptable, therefore what are the police doing? We are saying, not acceptable, how do we help you?
And What kind of help, Solofelo, are you offering at a practical level?
That's where we need to be engaging. We are asking that the relevant stakeholders that are faced with these problems, social workers, police officers, social development, they come forth and say, guys, you can help us here, you can help us there, because we may know about it by reading through it, or reading it in the papers, but we're not really in the depth of it. We're not really in the dirt. So we are saying, come and tell us what your problems are. Let us know where you need us to help you, so that we may be able to at least not sit back and just run to court whenever there's something like this happening, because clearly it's not working.
Brittany, let's talk about, how do we move from these slogans that we hear all the time, and also the condemnation of what we are seeing then, to action on the ground, so that we are able to even curb some of, the incidents. Like, I'm thinking about Enosicelo Mtebeni and that incident that we saw today that really shocked a lot of people.
Well, I truly believe that we have a brilliant constitution that has a Bill of Rights that aims to protect us. We have legislation that is there to protect us. And the only thing that's missing is some of these girls don't have access to all of the information. So there's this gap in their knowledge that we need to eliminate. We need to teach these girls that if you are being sexually abused or emotionally abused, physically abused, you can come forward and you can report it to the police, and this is how you go about doing it. In school, we do learn about, sexual assault. We learn about these things, but we need to go deeper into it. We need to, emphasize that there are ways to get out of these things, and like protection orders, restraining orders. These girls don't know what that is. They don't know how to go about going to a police station and applying for these things. They don't know that abortion is legal in South Africa and that it is an option and it is okay. And we need to remove the stigma from these things, as well as we need to teach them that sexual intercourse, below the age of 16, is the statutory age of, for consent, and it's considered rape if you, have sexual intercourse with a child who is under the age of 16. And we need to educate them about that and tell them that, so they know that, they can come forward, that it is a crime and they're not stuck, because a lot of these girls are stuck. And if our statistics are showing that there was a 72% increase of incidents of rape between, these past couple of months, it just shows that there's a percentage that is also unreported, because some girls are afraid to come forward, some girls are threatened and they can't come forward, and we need to basically create a platform to raise awareness about that fact and to educate them and tell them that it's okay, and it's okay to say no, and that no means no, and we need to teach them that it's perfectly okay to stand up for yourselves.
All right, thank you to you both for your time this evening. That was Solofelo Maluleka and Brittany Manikin from the hashtag We2Women Lawyers Against Abuse.